People see this uniform, it strikes fear in their hearts.
What people?
The other people at the Village People tryout?
Peacemaker doesn't seem like a show that should work, given how much of an abrasive jerk the title character was in the Suicide Squad, and none of it would have worked if showrunner James Gunn had given him an easy time of things. But in many ways, Peacemaker is the crystallization of the themes that Gunn has been exploring since Guardians of the Galaxy. It ends up being a spectacular story about the redemptive power of friendship and how hard it is to change, particularly when that means cutting ties with toxic parents or forgiving yourself for past trauma.
Don't worry. I'm not giving this guy anything.
Maybe you could just give him a little.
Picking up soon after the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker's assigned to be the muscle for Project Butterfly, a mission he's told precious little about. The stakes and the nature of the threat are revealed slowly, yet there's so much humor and action that it never feels like Gunn is stalling for time or trying too hard at misdirection. Plot points that seem like they've been left hanging eventually return to contribute to a powerful conclusion. Peacemaker follows the example of Amazon's The Boys by serving its heavy topics with heaping portions of over-the-top violence and juvenile humor. Tonal whiplash is the unapologetic norm here, yet the pieces all manage to fit together remarkably well. Even a running joke about how Argus agent John Economos dyes his beard that might seem repetitive eventually leads to remarkable emotional payoff. Characters that could easily be one-note villains or comic relief are given surprising depth over the course of the 8-episode season. Mostly freed from franchise constraints, Gunn has been able to focus on the ways his ensemble and even their antagonists grow together. Every part of that ensemble works remarkably well. As Peacemaker, aka Chris Smith, John Cena shows off not just his biting humor, but impressive emotional depth and vulnerability as he grapples with his relationship with his abusive white supremacist father, Augie, played fearsomely by Robert Patrick. While there are hints at a budding romance between Chris and Argus agent Amelia Harcourt, the show's most important relationship is the purely platonic bond he forms with new recruit Leota Adebayo, who's dealing with her own familial baggage. The series' fight scenes look great, largely avoiding CGI and instead finding novelty and humor in both giant brawls and one-on-one martial arts battles. There's plenty of banter between punches and kicks, and the low power level and high emotional vulnerability of Peacemaker's misfit heroes means that every blow they receive is keenly felt. Gunn masterfully weaves in both science fiction and superhero tropes, mocking and embracing them in equal measure. Peacemaker seemingly has a filthy story about every DC hero and derides Batman for not being tough enough to kill his villains, yet he desperately clings to his own purpose and moral code motivated by his own tragic backstory. The show examines the power of symbols and ideology in justifying murder, explaining the oddly understandable reason behind Peacemaker's ludicrous pledge to kill as many men, women, and children as it takes in the name of peace, but also fully examining its monstrous potential by pushing it to its logical conclusion. Gunn pays homage to classic alien infiltration films like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and They Live, pulling no punches in his critique of humanity while also rejecting the premise that freedom of choice is inherently sacred. Instead, Gunn again returns to his core premise of the healing power of love. If a jerk like Peacemaker can change for the better, maybe there's hope for the species after all. Peacemaker is James Gunn's best work to date. The lengthier format of an 8-episode series allowing him to really show off the themes, character building, action, and humor he brought to Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad. While its abrasive characters and gory spectacle might turn some viewers off, they run parallel with a deep emotional core and pointed critiques that are powerfully delivered as part of a well-conceived and twisty plot.
Oh my god. He's hugging me. He's hugging me. Dad, grab my phone. I don't want to move.
For more TV reviews, check out what we thought of The Cuphead Show and The Book of Boba Fett. For everything else, stick with IGN.